Hi, everyone. Welcome to my weekly short form podcast where every week I interview someone that I've worked with in the industry that I find thoughtful, interesting, and valuable to my business. And I hope you find the same. If you're in the industry, whether you're in real estate, a buyer, a seller, an investor, or in law or banking, and you want to be on this podcast, please let me know. And if you enjoy the podcast, please like and comment below. Let me know we're doing a great job. Have a great weekend and hope to see you soon. Hey everyone, how's it going? We're here with my friend Aaron Zucker from GoldBar Real Estate out in Long Island. He actually works all over New York, Suffolk, Nassau, the 5 boroughs. And we just wanted to get together and talk and ask a few questions. Aaron, how did you get into real estate?
Yeah, so it's a funny story. I actually got into real estate by accident. I was at Queens College at the time, 2 years left of college. My friend said, hey, come to this career fair. And I said, why would I go to a career fair? I don't want to work for someone else. I want to work for myself. He's like, come. So I came, and there was about 250 kids in the room, and there was a panelist of people, right? And one of them was a doctor, one of them was a lawyer, and one of them was a broker. So at the end of the conference, they said, does anyone have any questions? So of course, I firmly believe that there's no stupid questions in life, right? The only stupid questions are the ones that are never asked. So I raised my hand and I said, I have a question. I want to get my broker's license. How long does it take? And at the time I had my real estate license. And everyone just stared at me and I realized that I was talking to a stockbroker, not a real estate broker. So of course I got pretty embarrassed, face turns red, sitting in that room. Everyone leaves and someone approaches me. And her name is Laura, happens to be my colleague's sister. And she's like, my brother, she's looking to start a real estate team. Have you ever considered maybe talking to him? And that's how that started. And I was already in real estate before that, but I look at that as my real start. So that's the answer. It's
awesome.
crazy.
That's awesome. And what made you want to become a real estate broker?
I mean, so I have a story. My parents have been running a business for 25 years. It's called a daycare, Children's Corner Daycare it's called.
Okay.
So pretty much before they opened a daycare, they put me in a daycare, and the daycare treated me horribly. They didn't change my diaper, they didn't feed me. They gave my food to other kids, so they pulled me out, and it's the parents' worst nightmare, right? And they decided to open up their own daycare. And I grew up seeing kids in and out of the daycare till I was a certain age. And as I got older, I was 17, 18, 19 years old, I realized that a lot of these parents would take advantage of my parents. They wouldn't pay them on time. They wouldn't show up. They'd be rude. So I said, I want to start my own business. At the time, I didn't know what it was, but I want to start my own business and do the right thing and the honest thing towards people. And that's the same pitch that I give on my listing appointments, my story, my why. Why did I get into real estate? What am I going to do towards you to make sure that you feel comfortable with me? So that's the whole story.
That's a good core value. So along the way, you're successful now, and you've been in it for a few years. Were there any books, coaches, or podcasts that you found helpful in your career?
Yeah. So I should read more books, but the one book that I did look into was Rich Dad Poor Dad. You have to read that book. It explains the difference between someone who has money and doesn't, and what different people do with that money. Read the book or listen to the podcast. You can actually get a free book on Audible, your first one for free, so I'd recommend it.
Yeah, it's a great book.
So it's a great book. I should read it again. And also mentors, right? I have 2 of them. One of them is Juan Baronecci, who's the team leader on our team at GoldBar, and then Abel Curiel. And I basically started off as a showing agent where I would show 70 homes a month. And my first year, I think I made like 10 or 15,000. I closed like 15 deals. And each deal I made between like $500 and $1,500.
Right.
But this is the same philosophy that I teach when I help agents, because I tell them, like, listen, you do the same thing. Start off this way or don't. But I think it's the best way to start.
Right. So you really feel like most people successful in the business have a mentor, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of impossible to like...
You need a mentor, and in different fields, right? And I'm not talking... You need a mentor for real estate. You need a mentor for social media, for different aspects, for flipping homes, different aspects of your business. You need one specified person, which I'm acquiring and I have.
Right.
And I think it's pretty important. And there's always someone that's going to know more than you. And that's what you have to live by, is you need to find those people. And it's not easy, but find them.
Yeah.
and you'll be successful.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Were there any failures along the way that actually defined your career? Maybe you thought the failure was really a dismal outcome and you didn't know what you were going to do with your life, but yet it kind of defined you and got you to here?
Yeah, so I was really wanting to get a listing in an area that was above $1 million, and for that reason I took an overpriced listing. And for that reason, it was sitting on the market. It ended up that another realtor sold it, but I learned a lesson from there is just because you shouldn't chase the money, you should chase the relationship. Because you can get 15 listings at $20 million each, but if none of them sell, you wasted your time, money, effort, everything. So that taught me a lot. It taught me to actually build relationships with people, control conversations, and actually provide value and understand your market. And that propelled me into getting more high-priced listings and actually knowing what I was doing. So I'm happy I failed in that aspect because I got a high-priced listing at a very young age. I think it was 22. But at the same time, I was able to learn from that. So it was a great opportunity.
That's great. And today, what's, let's say, one tool or habit that you rely on for your business?
Just organization and consistency. So one of the things that I do as far as organization is going to be Google Calendar. I live by that. Like if it's not in my calendar, it does not exist.
Right.
I even schedule things with my wife, which we'll work on that. But Google Calendar is very important. Spreadsheets. If you're running a business, you're running a business. This is not a game. This is something where it's all about numbers. Like how many conversations do I need to have to get to a certain goal? Right. And we have those numbers already aligned out. And the other thing is consistency, right? Everyone wants to be successful in real estate. People see the 5-year span. Oh, this guy's selling 25 homes a year, 75 homes a year. I can't do that. But what did they do on the back end every single day to get to that point? Right. And it's the consistency. It's the calling. It's the 3 hours a day, every single day, and knowing that. And I think that all turns back into your why, right? What's motivating you? Is it the money? Because if you're in real estate for money, you should leave. But if you're in real estate for a bigger reason, your why do you do what you do? I'm doing what I do to retire my parents. Right? And if you know that reason and you wake up to that every day, you'll always want to be consistent and call and do all that. Yeah. So
passion is key.
Passion
is key. If you don't have it,
charisma.
You got to go find it.
And charisma.
And charisma. And let's say if we had to end on a high note, if you could have a billboard say anything to the world, what would you say? And I have to say thank you to Tim Ferriss for that question. So if you had a billboard, what would it say?
If I had a billboard, what would it say? I mean, I'm going to go back to my last thing. Anything you do, be genuine, be consistent. Consistency is key, and I know I said that in the past, but with anything you do, being consistent with your business will help you grow. With the relationships you have in your personal life, I think that will help you build a better, financial future, relationships with family, just everything in general. And if you don't care about the result, but just focus on the relationship, you'll build a better business long term.
Absolutely.
Never chase the money.
Absolutely.
Never chase the money.
Never. Aaron, thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate it. Guys, that was it for Friday. Take care.